Hello, this is Dia Damson, and today we are going to do easy flowers. And before we begin, please don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you get notifications from my future videos. And what I'm going to do here is place my flowers in a way that will make it very easy to create that cone or kind of like an open area in the center. So I have two ovals, one for the center, one for outside. I have the back of the flower, which is the flower away from us, and then we have the front of the flower, which is the flower in front of us. And I want to separate those two areas to make it easy, and with little brush strokes I'm going to create first the back side of the flower, the petals, by using a tiny brush, and I'm just moving it around first with red, then with a little bit of darker red. So any red that it's a little bit darker that you have in your palette will not matter the color. It's more about using three colors, one lighter, medium, and dark. And this one, you see right here how I'm placing the back side of the petals first around that center, and then now it's the front also around that oval center. So obviously the front petal is facing a little bit upwards, very short, and the side ones are facing to the side 45 degrees left and right. And now I'm gonna add the dark colors kind of in between, so none of the petals were complete. I'm gonna add those dark areas in between and have them mixed together with the red, because my middle color, it's still wet, so it's going to soften and blend beautifully together. And then I am going to go with a lighter color and create the highlights just like the flower, the first flower. And all three flowers are a little bit different. The positioning is different, so it's going to show you a different variation, but the technique is absolutely the same. And now I'm going to add the yellow. The paints that I'm using are really nice. They're a little bit on the expensive side, so you don't have to buy those paints to do the same thing, but they mixed and move in the water beautifully. So there is the last flower, and the last flower is facing differently. And we're gonna start again with the back, and I'm gonna point those petals, and you see they're just brush strokes. I'm using the shape of the brush to create what I need. And then the front, so this one is a little bit more eye level than the one on the bottom, so the center is a little bit more squished oval, but it's absolutely the same. So we're creating the back, we're creating the front, we're adding the highlight with a lighter color that plays very well with our colors. So in this case is yellow, and after that we're gonna have to leave this to dry because we have a little more work with it. But while we're waiting, we're going to put a few little leaves here and there. So again, none of this really looks like leaves. I'm using few colors. For the green, when you're mixing green mix beautifully with blue and yellow, and also ochre. If you want to create that woodsy green, you can mix ochre with blue and yellow, and you're going to create that beautiful green. So play around with your colors, mix them, see what happens. And pretty much, again, I'm using the shape of the brush to create things for me. I'm just pushing the brush down and moving it around, so it's not really anything precise. It's just filling in the space. And again, I'm using three colors. I'm using the blue, the green, and the yellow to create those three different shades, and that will give me the shadows, the lights, the highlights, and my medium color, even without using white. Now I left a little bit of white around the flowers, and you're gonna see why. So we're gonna fill in the sky, and in the sky you're gonna see how this paint mixes beautifully in water. And this is not really drenched in water. The surface is wet, but it's not a lot of water, but as soon as I start putting the color in, it just goes beautifully and merges. So some paints you have to work them a little bit more, and some paints, the way that they made, they just burst in the water beautifully. So this is the one, and the sky is just whatever color blue you have. It doesn't have to be dark, it could be lighter, it could be anything. And now I'm gonna go back in. I'm gonna add a little bit of a darker color around the flowers, and also just that white line that I left on around the flowers. I am gonna go in and do something extra to it. So I'm adding a little bit of separation, like a few areas that I want to make sure that the petals are more pronounced. I'm gonna add a little bit of a mixture between red and blue, so it's purple. It's a dark purple, but I'm adding very little bit. A line here and a line there. It's not a big deal. You can go with that or without. Center is going to be black, and instead of covering that area, I'm actually lifting and dropping my brush and creating tiny little dots next to each other, so it creates a little bit more of elements on the surface. Gonna add a little bit of yellow there, a few dots of yellow. And now we're gonna go on the white area. So now I left this white, first not to mix the green and the red, and second, this is going to be my highlights for my flowers. So the edge of all those petals will have this bright yellow, and it's going to be clean. It's not really mixed with the red as much as the rest of the yellow that I put in earlier. So it creates a little bit of a halo around our pretty flowers, and they're super easy. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you get notifications for my future videos. And if you're on Rumble, don't forget to rumble. And thanks for watching. Let me know how your flowers turn out, or if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them. I will have on some of my videos links to traceables. This will not have a traceable because it's way too elementary. You have only 3 ovals inside, but this is it. So I see you next time. Bye.